Ladies and gentlemen, the ceremony will begin momentarily. At this time, please take your seats and silence all electronic devices for the duration of this event. Thank you. Good afternoon. On behalf of the Commander, Detachment 4, 18th Intelligence Squadron, Major Nicholas Magnum Condon, welcome to today's retirement ceremony. The men and women of the United States Air Force pay special tribute to Master Sergeant Larry Moore on the occasion of his retirement from active duty. I am Staff Sergeant Stahl, and I will be today's Master of Ceremonies. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party, and please remain standing for the playing of the U.S. National Anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. The presiding officer for today's ceremony is Major Nicholas Condon, Commander of Detachment 4, 18th Intelligence Squadron. We are also honored to have in attendance Master Sergeant Moore's wife, Catherine, his son, Jaden, and special guests who have traveled from the United States to be with us, Mr. Donald Ells, Ms. Susan Griswold, Mr. Jeffrey Gray, and retired Master Sergeant T. Townsend. We would also like to welcome all men and women of Detachment 4, 18th Intelligence Squadron, as well as friends and family members who are here today. Woo. On this day, we honor Master Sergeant Larry Moore for giving 20 years and 18 days of dedicated service to his country and the United States Air Force. It is my honor to introduce the Commander, Detachment 4, 18th Intelligence Squadron, Major Nicholas Condon.
I was out there talking to myself so much that I got a little dry. Wow, what an amazing day today, right? This has got to be the most perfect venue. And Larry and Catherine, you did an amazing job. I can't imagine a better place to do this. Right? And I hope everybody had an opportunity to go out and see that physical embodiment of air power, right? That's out on the ramp and that's in some of these aircraft hangars out there, right? It's fantastic. I mean, the black airplane that's out there, right? As opposed to, and those World War II warbirds, right? They just kind of bring out the 12-year-old in you. You just want to climb all over them. And for me, when I'm there, it's more than just the aircraft, right? It's the stories of the aviators and the airmen that have been associated with it, right? And today, we're seeing another part of an aviator and an airman story. And this is a really cool thing to be part of. So thank you, Catherine and Jaden, for bringing us all out there and making this possible. And to the family and friends that have come back from CONUS, out from CONUS, I know that it's a pretty significant investment to come out here, but I think it's a definite testament to your friendship and to the respect that you have for Sergeant Moore's service. So thank you for coming. And of course, the men and women of Detachment 4. It's another milestone in the detachment story. And of course, Larry, I mean, I say it's a reblooming experience for me to share a moment with a patriot, to be interwoven into your story. So thank you for letting me be here to share this with you. Sergeant Stahl a minute ago said that 20 years and 18 days and 46 seconds. Is that what it was? And that's, Larry's going to correct me when I'm wrong here. If I do the Wayback Machine, that's December of 1995. Got it. All right. So December of 1995, like I say, getting the Wayback Machine, we have to think about where was the world, where was the Air Force at that time, right? 95, December was the end of the U.S. and NATO bombing campaign in Bosnia, where we stopped genocide, right? That was part of, well, it was a time in the United States Air Force where we were flying combat sorties every day in northern and southern Iraq in order to prevent the Iraqi regime from using air power against their own people, right? It was a time, only a handful of years after the fall of the Soviet Union, where there was a lot of questioning. What was the world? What was happening in the world? Where were we going? There was a lot of trepidation, right? We weren't sure what was happening in East Europe. We weren't sure what was going to happen with Russia. Was China going to be ascending? Right? So there was a lot of question in what was happening at that moment. And that's the backdrop that Sergeant Moore stepped forward and said, I'm an American airman. Right? He said, even with the questions that are out there, I'm a patriot, and I'm here to defend. And that's phenomenal. And as we talk about 20 years, in that period, a handful of years after you enlist, it's the terrorist attacks of September 11th, right? And I'll tell you, personally, I have supreme respect for the men and women who were in uniform on that day, who continued in service of the country. You know, it's slightly before my time, but I imagine that had to be the most significant gut check day, because war had been brought to us, and the reality that an airman could become a battlefield airman has been presented. And it would have been easy for a lot of folks to step away and go do something safe. But men like Larry that stayed the course always gives me something to aspire to. And I love working with the patriots that have really had to stare at it and make that decision and continue to move forward. So I have supreme respect. So, I've had the chance to work with Master Sergeant Moore for the last 2 years. In that time, Sergeant Moore has been a fantastic mentor and advisor to me. And without a doubt, he's helped me through some of the most significant challenges a leader can have. And through his wisdom, I believe that we've made the best decisions for the Air Force and for young airmen, men and women defending our country. And I can't say enough about how fortunate I am to have that advice. But when I look at your overall record, that mentoring is something that comes up over and over and over. And I think you were his very first supervisor, is this right? So I was looking, second? All right. So I was looking at Master Sergeant Moore's very first PPR at Masala, right? As an A1C. And on there is a line that talks about, as an A1C, that he was training and mentoring a fellow airman, right? So already from right out the gate, he's training and developing guys that are around. And if we fast forward to the last couple of years that you've been here at the detachment, I think that's the thread that I would describe our time here is the training and mentoring that he's given the operators, as technicians, as NCOs, as professionals, as airmen. And one of those things, well, I can't talk exactly about what we do, but there have been 15 times over the last, 9 months now, that Larry has recognized when one of our guys has done something phenomenal. And he's written letters, missives by name to get that airman recognized. And those messages go all the way up to the headquarters of the Air Force. So by name, our guys are getting recognized for the work that they're doing at the highest levels that the Air Force has. And that's because Larry's taking the investment to do it. And he's making sure that those guys are getting the recognition they deserve. And I'll be honest, he doesn't get anything out of it, right? It's no more money in his paycheck, doesn't change his retirement, doesn't promote him, but he does it because it's the right thing to do, and he wants folks to succeed. It's phenomenal. And Captain and Jaden, I know you guys have had to make some sacrifices, right? Moving around, TDYs, the deployment, crazy hours, weird shifts. I know. But I promise you that the world is a freer place. And the United States was defended. And our interests were protected because of the work that Larry has done. And without a doubt, I'll miss having Larry as part of our detachment. I'll miss the mentoring, the advice, the expertise. But we're better off for having known and having worked with him. And I've heard that you found a way to continue to apply your expertise and your knowledge in the furtherance of America, and I think that's phenomenal. I wish you the best in the next step.
Thank you, Major Condon. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the presentation of the Meritorious Service Medal. Attention to orders. This is to certify that the President of the United States of America, authorized by executive order, has awarded the Meritorious Service Medal, 1st Oak Leaf Cluster, to Master Sergeant Larry R. Moore for meritorious service from 21 May 2012 to 1 January 2016. Master Sergeant Larry R. Moore distinguished himself in the performance of outstanding service to the United States as Operations Superintendent, Detachment 4, 18th Intelligence Squadron, 554th Intelligence, Surveillance, and Reconnaissance Group, Royal Air Force Feltwell, United Kingdom. Sergeant Moore led a team of 34 intelligence specialists operating equipment valued at more than $10 million while prosecuting 237 targets and providing 26,000 hours of intelligence data at an unprecedented 99.9% effectiveness rate. His team drove critical updates to 10 operation plans across 6 combatant commands. Additionally, he led the discovery of a new adversary covert space capability that threatened an $8 billion Air Force Space Command program and allowed the National Command Authority to make informed policy decisions. He oversaw the identification and intelligence production of 63 newly deployed space platforms and developed tactics against 17 adversary links. Furthermore, he led the detachment's 2015 participation in Austere Challenge by providing 84 hours of tailored access to joint warfighters in European command. Sergeant Moore's outstanding performance was critical to the unit's selection as the Air Force Intelligence, Surveillance, and Reconnaissance Agency's Detachment of the Year for 2012. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Sergeant Moore culminate a long and distinguished career in the service of his country and reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Given under my hand, 24 August 2015, Colonel William B. Walper, Commander, 554th Intelligence, Surveillance, and Reconnaissance Group. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Major Condon will now present the retirement certificate to Master Sergeant Moore. It reads, Certificate of Retirement from the Armed Forces of the United States of America. To all who shall see these presents greetings, this is to certify that Master Sergeant Larry R. Moore, having served faithfully and honorably, was retired from the United States Air Force on the first day of January 2016. Signed, General Mark A. Walsh III, Chief of Staff, United States Air Force. Additionally, the President of the United States of America sent a certificate of appreciation to Master Sergeant Moore. The certificate reads, "I extend to you my personal thanks and the sincere appreciation of a grateful nation for your contribution of honorable service to our country. You have helped maintain the security of the nation during a critical time in its history with a devotion to duty and a spirit of sacrifice in keeping with the proud traditions of military service. Your commitment and dedication have been an inspiration for those who will follow in your footsteps, and for all Americans who join me today in saluting you for a job extremely well done. My best wishes to you for your happiness and success in the future. Signed, Barack Obama, Commander-in-Chief." The Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force has also sent a certificate of appreciation to Master Sergeant Moore. It reads, "I am proud to join your friends and family in congratulating you on your retirement from the United States Air Force. Master Sergeant Larry R. Moore, the achievements and contributions you have made throughout your career are indicative of the core values of our great service. Your retirement is well deserved. But your selfless contributions will be sorely missed. On behalf of all airmen, thank you for your faithful and devoted service to our nation. As this chapter in your life closes and a new one begins, I hope the years ahead are filled with more great memories and continued success. Given this first day of January 2016, signed, Chief Master Sergeant James A. Cody, Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force." Finally, Major Condon would like to present Master Sergeant Moore with an award for his hard work and diligence over the last quarter.
So you all had an opportunity to see the table up there, right? Master Sergeant Moore has a long story of success and all the way up to the finish line. So detachment senior NCO quarter for this quarter. He's competing at the squadron. The results actually should be published today. I hear it's a very narrow margin, so we'll hope right it is.
Catherine Moore, will you please join Major Condon and your husband on stage? The Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force has also provided Master Sergeant Moore's wife, Catherine, with a certificate of appreciation. This certificate reads, "On behalf of all Air Force airmen and their families, the Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force presents this certificate of appreciation to Catherine D. Moore. I join your spouse, family, and friends in thanking you for the numerous contributions and sacrifices you made in support of our United States Air Force. Your dedication gave strength and purpose to your spouse's service in defense of our nation. Given this first day of January 2016, signed, Chief Master Sergeant James A. Cody, Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force." The Chief of Staff also wishes to recognize Catherine for contributions to the Air Force. He has also provided a certificate of appreciation. This certificate reads, "In grateful appreciation, the United States Air Force presents this certificate of recognition to Catherine D. Moore for the commitment and numerous contributions that made positive impacts on the nation's defense. Thank you for the support which gave strength and purpose to your spouse's service. Given this first day of January 2016, signed, General Mark A. Welsh III, Chief of Staff, United States Air Force." For her service to the detachment as a key spouse, Major Condon will now present Catherine with a letter of appreciation and a commander's coin.
All right. Well, there's a certificate underneath the letter. So we talked about the sacrifices of families. And one of the things that Catherine has done for the detachment when I first arrived for the previous commander was she was a key spouse. And her role was to help bring new spouses into the unit and to bring them into an overseas assignment, to help them integrate into the base and the community. And I think it's a huge service that you've done for us, and I really appreciate it. I'm sorry that it's taking so long to get this, but it's important for me to make sure that you're doing this. So, hello. Pretend I can see them. What am I going to do?
Thank you, Major Condon. In recognition of his new status, Catherine will now present Master Sergeant Moore with the official Air Force retired lapel pin. Additionally, Catherine will present Master Sergeant Moore with a personal gift. As a gift to commemorate Master Sergeant Moore's years of service, Catherine Moore presents this shadow box. Jaden Moore, please come forward and join your mother and father on stage. In appreciation for his father's service to the nation, Jaden presents this gift to Master Sergeant Moore.
I give you this gift to you. I give this gift to you. You served our country well. Love, Jaden.
Thank you, Catherine and Jaden. On behalf of Det 4, we have an appreciation gift to just say thank you for all your hard work and service and dedication to Det 4.
You need help, buddy?
Whoa, what is that?
Nice.
Cool.
The rest of you.
That's a retirement project right there. I appreciate that, everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, I now present Master Sergeant Larry Moore, United States Air Force, retired.
Thank you all very much. I appreciate that. If I could for a moment, I'd like to take you back in time. The year was 1995. Toy Story was just coming out. Apollo 13 was on the big screen. And Whitney Houston was topping the music charts. This, of course, before she began her career singing underwater in a bathtub. See, 1995, a lot of different things happened, of course. The show Full House ended. The Olsen twins went on to have very successful careers. One doing Christmas shows, the other killing Heath Ledger. In 1995, the state of Mississippi finally ratified the 13th Amendment, thus ending slavery once and for all. And I'm not mistaking it for 1895. So, way to go, Mississippi. In 1995, a very precocious young man was growing up. He would one day inspire us all with ingenious musical lyrics and acts of kindness within the community. His name, Justin Bieber. Another gift to the world. In 1995, the woman who would become the love of my life was...
The comedian? Oh, Ryan.
15. You're probably going, oh, that's not so bad. That's not so bad. You were what, 20? When I was 20, she was 12. Don't worry, I didn't know her at the time. My name is not Joshua Duggar. The day I left for basic training, a young lady was turning 6 years old. Her name, Taylor Swift. While drill instructors were screaming and spitting in my face, she was doing the same to her parents for not failing to produce a pink pony. But thus started my career, my 20-year journey. The drill instructors called me Oompa Loompa, which I took to be an extraordinary compliment because of their hard work ethic and their ability to break out into song in the midst of their 18-hour day. So I'm very appreciative of that. Everything from there to this moment right now is a blur. So I don't know what happened. It's in my bio, I read it last night, and I fell asleep twice. So instead of recanting you with any stories, I figured we could laugh for the next several moments. So when I joined, I got to start, like Major Condon said, I have a great deal of respect for all of you who joined after September 11th, because you at least had an idea of what you were getting into. You know, at least a ballpark idea of what was going to happen. When I joined, the only missile being launched by the president was against the SS Monica Lewinsky. Back then, the Air Force had money. So the Air Force had a lot of money. But it makes sense. You know, we went to war. Congress looked to see where are we going to spend $1 trillion over the next 10 years that we have to dedicate to this war. So they came up with something brilliant. To pay for this war, we will take money from the military. So very interesting there. I don't think their pictures will be going on paper money anytime soon. But I saw a lot of change through my career, a lot of national security strategy change. We went from Yugoslavia, Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, almost Iran, and then Iraq again. So I saw quite a bit of change in that time, and I'm very proud to have been a part of it. But nowhere did I see more change than in the way the Air Force tests us on physical fitness. When I joined, we practically had no unit PT whatsoever. We hardly even had a PT uniform. And typically, airmen would not work out 364 days a year. So when it came to that one day to take their PT test, not working out, and then running as fast as you can usually lends bad results. So we had a few airmen fall out, a few unfortunate accidents. We were dropping about as fast as a Bill Cosby date, but so they realized a change had to happen. Something new had to occur. So the Air Force came up with an ingenious plan. We would pedal a bike for 6 minutes. And overnight, 40-pound overweight smokers became the poster children of Air Force greatness. They became the passing ones. So obviously, you know, this test didn't work out too well. So they had to revert back. So they went back to the run. We do push-ups and sit-ups. There was still one little problem, and that was you could pick whoever you wanted to give you your PT test. So kind of the good old boy system was born. You had a lot of people going up to their favorite PTL going, you know, how many push-ups could you do today if you would do it? Okay, 65, got it. So more change had to happen. So eventually, what they did was they announced that we would have more stringent standards, and then a complete stranger would give us our PT test. I was a tech sergeant at Fort Meade at the time, and what happened next had a profound effect on me personally. I watched as every master sergeant in the DC-Baltimore area hobbled to their closest medical facilities saying, I've got some strange E7 disease, I don't know what it is. And thus began, of course, the profile as the master sergeant certificate, basically. But I made a commitment to myself that I would never take that route. I would never take that easy way. There are people who have genuine problems, who need that help. But I implore on you, as you make it through rank, do not choose the easy way out. Stand by your airmen and lead from the front. Because it's an awfully bad example if you're going to admonish somebody for failing to do something that you don't have the courage to attempt. So I implore on each of you, as you make it through the rank, stay among those individuals who are willing to lead by example and lead from the front. So, lastly, I'm getting there. So throughout my career, I had some reoccurring nightmares. I would have a dream that I was a zookeeper for a wild chimpanzee at a zoo, a rather unkempt one, and it had no idea that what it was slinging at other people was its own food. But when I woke up, most of us feel relieved that that was not at all reality. When I woke up, I felt 10 times worse, because at the time, I worked with a lieutenant. That they are, they're cute, cuddly. They're like chihuahuas. They're very cute, cuddly. A lot of bark, not much bite, but they pee on the carpet. They don't get into much trouble. If I pee on the carpet, I get into trouble, don't I? Sorry about that. But they do have a strange, mysterious talent that few possess. For they have bachelor degrees. Aren't they cute, mister? So in all honesty, though, I really enjoyed my time working with lieutenants because they really taught me a lot about myself. So in all seriousness, I value that. I worked with lieutenants throughout my career, and I have to say that I have a great amount of respect for those that come in, have no experience whatsoever with what they're dealing with, and have to lead that mission. And of course, if it's true that lieutenants in Vietnam had a life expectancy of 60 minutes, it's profound what they had to deal with. So, in all seriousness, I do respect the time that I spent working with lieutenants, with everybody. They really taught me a lot about myself, and I appreciate being a part of their career and being able to mentor them, watching them mentor me. But I have a great deal of people to thank this evening. All of you, thank you for coming. I really appreciate you being here, for taking some time out of your busy lives to make it here. And of course, everybody standing here in blue today, I'm very grateful for. I appreciate everything. Thank you very much, Major, for all your kind words. It's greatly appreciated. And of course, I'm very grateful for my career overall. So I've traveled the world. I've been able to live in very many interesting places. I received an education paid for all the way up to a master's degree. Hopefully I'm set up for continued education. I've built a career that is going to continue from this point forward. So it's very honorable. The Air Force sent me halfway around the world to Korea to meet a Canadian that would put up with me. Because American women have these things called standards. So I'm grateful to the Air Force for connecting the two of us, very much so. But a special thanks to all those who flew here from the States. A lot of moving parts to get everybody here. Everybody arrived safely, except for my name tag. But besides the casualty, we move on. So I appreciate it. I'm very fortunate to have somebody from every stage of my life here in front of me that came from the States. So Jeff Gray knew me since I was a very young child, so we grew up together. So he knew me back when I was 11 years old, and about this tall. So I stopped growing when I was 9. I was an ugly white version of Webster. I had dry crusted snot on my upper lip. It would be 20 years before a girl would go out with me. But there I was, if you can picture that. Jeff Gray can tell you a lot of great stories. He and his wife Elizabeth, though, they've been great supporters, throughout my life, basically, my childhood and in through my career. So I'm very appreciative of that. Thank you very much. And then, of course, Susan. She knew me about the same age, yet she knew me more closely when I was a little bit older. So I was 18, and I had a badge. I had a holster that had a gun in it, a .357 Magnum. So you talk about a woman who did not get sleep at night. It's her right here. So there I am. My hair is cut like a mop, basically. I've got a mustache that you can't forget. I looked like a cross between Barney Fife and the Village People. But I appreciate working with me. You really helped build a foundational for a professional career that I could not get from Little Caesars Pizza. So I appreciate that foundation. And then, of course, my second supervisor, and perhaps my most important supervisor, I'd say actually without a doubt, Tamara Townsend. If there's anything that you appreciate about me, she is the true background, the foundation for that. She taught me everything positive that I needed to know and helped me grow to become an NCO and to become a leader. She inspired into me the desire to want to lead. So I'm very appreciative that you were part of my career. And then, of course, Dawn Evans. So Dawn was with me in my last assignment. The term subordinate is probably too much of an insult, but I did rate on him. He won so many quarterly awards that whenever the 7th Intelligence Squadron felt sorry for another NCO and they gave it to somebody else, they went ahead and left his picture up there because they knew the next quarter he would get it. So if anyone knows me for my writing skills, there's my practice guy right there. But much more than that, he really, normally the supervisor is the one teaching the subordinate. In this case, he taught me everything I know about the current work industry that we're all part of. He instilled in me that love and joy for that. And he's been a very foundational part of this particular space intelligence field that we're a part of. And he really groomed me into that, and I'm very appreciative of that. And he's also a big part of my continued success within that field. So thank you very much, I appreciate it. And we also enjoyed flying together quite a bit, and it'll be great to fly with you once more. So thank you very much. Now, you all may be wondering where my family is this afternoon. Right here. You're all right here. Now, my mother and my late father were great supporters and inspirations of my career. And it's understandable that my mother could not be here. But to the rest of my family, really this may not have been important. So who I see in front of me right now are my brothers and sisters. I love each and every one of you. I love serving with all of you. You were a great inspiration to me, a great part of my career. And you really instilled in me a great pride for what I do. I got, of course, that inspiration from a lot of foundational leaders like Tamara Townsend, but you really kept that motivation in me by what you did each and every day. It really inspired me to continue to want to lead, to continue to want to prosper within this career field. So I'm very appreciative for all of you. It's been wonderful working with all of you. Not completely done thanking people. Catherine Moore, if you would please come up here. We have something for you. The traditional gift is flowers, but flowers die. So, I wanted to give something that was more eternal, more lasting. You know, so this is a globe that will fit in a hand. The inscription on it says, Catherine, we have traveled this globe together, but you have been my world and my career. Thank you very much. We didn't put it together because one thing that Canadians don't trust are bombs. Jade? Yes. It's been a big part of my career as well, so I'm very appreciative of you. So I've got some for you, okay? Stand right there.
Master Sergeant Moore's gift to his son, Jaden, is the United States flag, which, in honor of his retirement, flew over the U.S. Capitol on June 14, 2015, Flag Day, which is also Master Sergeant Moore's birthday.
Again, thank you all for coming. I appreciate it. This has been it's been a wonderful career, a wonderful ride, and I'm very proud that you are all part of it, and I'm very proud to have you as part of it this evening. So thank you very much. Turnstile.
Ladies and gentlemen, in appreciation of his contribution to the Air Force and its mission, the men and women of the United States Air Force are proud to have served with Master Sergeant Moore. He will always be honored as a dedicated professional, outstanding leader, and valuable member of the Air Force family. We wish you every success in your future endeavors. It was a true honor to serve with you. Please stand for the singing of the Air Force song. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for attending. Upon arrival at RAF Lakenheath, where we will be joining Master Sergeant Moore and his family at his home in Liberty Village, in which I will be DJing. Just one little last thing, this is totally outside of the record, but now that you are retired, me and the wife would just like to present you with a retirement gift that just signifies that, yeah, you're retired now. So Mr. Prophet, can you go ahead and make that happen? Of course I can. Yeah, I just want to say thank you, Sergeant Moore. You've been a great supervisor, and to say you'll be missed is an understatement.
That is how weird Mr. Larry Moore is.
All right, well, let's go to Sergeant Moore's house and party.